Good morning. Good morning and welcome to our yoga practice. We are getting set up and making our way to the mat. So we have quite a bit of time before our practice today, probably about 4 minutes. So good amount of time to get your mat rolled out, settle in, and to prepare for your practice. So we're just coming onto the mat, getting settled. If there's anything you like to incorporate into your practice, a block, a strap, blanket, you have time to grab that now. We're still probably 3 minutes out from starting. Keep that just within arm's reach. And then you can incorporate those items as you like into your practice. We're still just rolling out our mat, coming into the space. You can use this time to kind of sit quietly and begin to center the mind. If you want to invite in little movements, kind of begin to warm up the body, that can be a great option as well. About 2 more minutes. About another minute, we're still just coming into the space, settling in. Getting the yawns out. We are going to begin in child's pose today if you wanted to head that way. So we're getting close to time. Finalize any of your prep that you're doing, and then let's start making our way to that child's pose. So it can be toes near one another. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Knees near one another. Alternatively, you could take the knees wide to the edges of the mat, leaving the feet where they are. And that can create some nice extra space for you to melt down into as we start to lower the body down. Maybe the forehead rests on the mat. Maybe you make a little pillow with the palms or the fists. The arms could be outstretched if the forehead's just reaching toward the earth. You can keep a little softness there with a generous bend at the elbows. The belly rests on the thighs or between them as you let the hips settle toward the heels. Find your space, your variation this morning. As we take a few moments here, maybe you close the eyes. Invite the mind to be present. Connect with the body. See how you're feeling this morning. Build awareness. The belly is resting on the thighs. You may not be able to deepen the breath much, but become more aware of it. See if you can build a nice steady rhythm. Gently soften the body, letting go of that surface level tension. And if you'd like to set an intention for class, just something positive that's speaking to you, I welcome you to do so. Whatever's on your heart, be a nice little touch point for the mind during the practice, and something you can take with you from the mat out into the world. The head is resting on the hands. Go ahead and extend the hands onto the mat, palms down. Lengthen the arms, keep the hips settled. Feel that activation through the shoulders, the back. The length of the body. Create a little space between the head and the mat as we walk the hands over to the right, settling back down. Big stretch through the left side. Keep a little softness through the shoulder and the elbow. A little ease in the neck. Walk the hands back through center and gently journey over to the left side as you settle in. Awareness draws to the right side. Notice how the ribs are feeling. Walk the hands back to center. Inhale up, finding a tabletop position somewhere near the middle of the mat. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers wide. Give yourself a nice space. And then on an inhale, gently lower the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale as you round. Arch the back. Beginning our cat-cows. Inhale to lower. The gaze moves forward. Exhale to round. The gaze moves into the navel. And just continue these at your own breath pace for a few rounds. You can hold wherever you need. As you restart, connect that movement and breath. We'll take one more full round before meeting back at our neutral spine. The spine is long, gaze is at the mat. We'll take the hips and the gaze to the right, create a little C shape with the body. And then to the left. and then to the right, and then to the left, creating a little space through the ribs. Back to center. We'll leave the hips high where they are as we start to slide the hands away. Melt the heart down toward the mat, puppy pose. You can stay on palms, you could tent the fingers, you could come down to forearms. Lots of variations here, trying to keep a long spine, hips high. Big stretch through the back body, the shoulders, the front midline. Start to walk the hands up as we return to our tabletop. Nice strong neutral. Step the right toes back, the ball of the foot in the mat or just off of it, and press back through that heel. You should feel a nice stretch through the calf, the back of the leg, maybe into the foot. You could rock a little forward and back gently. And find stillness, reset, shoulders over wrist, and fly the right foot. Navel draws in toward the spine, core is engaged. Notice if you start to collapse into the shoulders. We want to keep ourselves lifted. Press back through the heel. Now, if you'd like, you can draw the left arm up. Maybe that bicep comes near the ear. Our balanced tabletop. Back body is strong. And lower hand and knee. Make any little adjustments you need to. And then step the left toes back. We'll start with that nice stretch for the back of the leg. Press through the heel. Toes are in the mat or on the mat behind or on the earth behind it. Then you could do that little rock. That might help stretch out the toes and the ankle. Find your neutral. Fly the left foot. Try to keep the hips square to the mat as best you can. Find your foundation through the right knee and left hand to draw that right arm up. Fingers reach forward. Long line through the body. And lower hand and knee. Reset. Fly the right foot. Scoop the belly as you bring that right foot forward, planting it toward the front of the mat somewhere. Hands frame it. Coming into our low lunge. So the knee is stacked over the ankle or a little behind it. We're sitting the hips low. Should feel a nice stretch through the front of the left leg, in the hip. Maybe you draw the gaze forward. In with the breath. Let the exhale help you settle a little deeper. Find a little more ease in the shape. We'll begin to shift the hips back as we rotate on the right heel, coming into a hamstring stretch. Only sit the hips back as far as your body wants. The right leg does not have to be perfectly straight. There can be a little bend at the knee. Maybe you draw the toes toward the body a little bit. And from hip to heel, aware of how the body is feeling. Little tension's all right, but if you feel any acute pain, something pinpointed, gently back out. Listen to the body. Walk the hands forward as we plant the right foot back down. Bring right hand inside right foot as you heel toe it over to the edge. set that foot at about a 45-degree angle, our lizard lunge. So depending upon your leg length, I have heel on mat, toes just off, but you may have the foot completely off. It may be on, just over a bit more. Explore the shape and supporting us. We sit into this deep hip opener. Start to heel toe that foot back. Hands frame it. A nice support on the mat as we curl left toes. Lift off of that knee, runner's lunge. The gaze is at the mat, the spine is long. We'll drop that back foot to a 45. We lift up. We still got that bend at the right knee. Back foot is planted, both feet rooted down. Square the body to the short edge of the mat. Hands can be again down at our side, palms forward. If you'd like, you can inhale them up to that V, palms shining toward one another, our warrior one. But again, that's optional. You could leave the hands down. You could go hands to heart center. Check in with your shoulders. With control, we'll rotate onto the ball of the back foot. Give yourself a little rock. You could drop the hands down if they are lifted, and we'll step that right foot or left foot forward, meeting the right at the front of the mat. Big inhale as we reach up. Exhale as we forward fold. And keep a little micro bend here at the knees if you like. We'll gently roll up, coming back to standing. Take a breath. Big inhale as we reach. Exhale as you forward fold. Hands reach to the mat. We'll step one foot back and then the other. High plank for just a moment. Lower to the knees. Uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. Settle down. Returning to the mat as we take 2 breaths here. We'll inhale up and return to our nice neutral tabletop somewhere in the middle of the mat. From our neutral, we'll fly the left leg, scoop the belly, try not to drag that foot as we bring it forward, planting it somewhere near the front of the mat, our low lunge. Take a moment to make any adjustments you need to. We have that knee stacked over the ankle, protecting our joints. We're sitting low into the hips so that we have a nice stretch through that right side. And then bring the gaze forward. Hands are supporting us. If you have blocks, this can be a great place to incorporate them. It can help lift you up a little bit. You can also just lift up and go hands to hips. I find that to put a little more strain on my hips, so I like the extra support. But every body is different. See what works well for you today. steady breath. With control, begin to shift. Coming into that hamstring stretch. Hips go back, heel stays connected to the mat. Hands move to support us wherever. They don't have to frame the foot. They don't have to be by your side. Just have them where it feels best for you. You can keep that little micro bend at the knee. Scan up the back of the leg. Check in with the body. Staying aware and present. Mind, breath, and body all connected in our practice. Walk the hands forward as we plant the left foot back down. Left hand comes inside the foot. Heel toe that foot to the edge of the mat. Set it at 45. Our lizard lunge. We're staying lifted today. Awareness drawing to the hips. Each exhale, an opportunity to invite in a little more space. Relax into the pose a bit more. We'll start to heel toe that foot back to its starting place. Hands frame the foot once more. We'll curl the right toes, lift off of that knee. Runner's lunge. Still have that generous bend at the left knee. Right leg is long. Ball of the foot is in the mat. Hips are sitting low. Then with control, we'll drop that back foot to a 45 as we start to lift up. We want the feet on skis, back foot at about 45, nice bend at that left knee. Knee is not journeying out beyond the ankle. Square the hips to the short edge of the mat. And again, you have those options with the arm. You can have them down alongside body, thumbs away. Could draw them up to that V. Keep a little ease as the shoulders drop away from the ears. And go hands to heart center. Feeling that energy between the palms. It'd be nice to play around with it if you usually have arms up, maybe trying one of the others. Or even if you're holding here for a bit, switching it up after a breath or two can help keep a little dynamic movement within our practice in subtle ways. Wherever you're at, the heart is open, the gaze is forward. One more breath here. Rotate onto the ball of the back foot. Give yourself a little rock and step right foot forward, meeting the left. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as you forward fold. Let the crown of the head reach toward the mat. And keep a little micro bend at the knees here. We'll gently roll up, back to standing, taking a breath. Big inhale as the arms rise. Exhale as we forward fold. We'll lower the hips, lift the heart, coming into chair pose. Arms can reach out in front of us, holding that giant beach ball. You could bring them in, hands to heart center. A lot of the weight is in the heels, but the toes are still connected to the mat. Legs are strong. And then we'll drop hands back to the mat as we lift the hips, returning to our forward fold. Gently roll up, back to standing. Take a breath. We'll heel toe the feet just one little bit apart. So just a wider stance, not super wide, just a little extra space. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale as we open them and turn to the right. So the feet stay planted. The hands are out in a T. And we're just turning the body. Inhale back up. Exhale as we turn to the left. Keep a little softness in the knees and the hips here. Heart is open. Inhale back. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale forward fold. Let the upper body grow heavy. Take the head a little yes and no to help loosen the neck. And then find stillness. We'll begin to lift slightly. We want to set the right hand on the mat or on a block or on a chair or on a desk somewhere underneath the head as best we can. We'll start to generously bend the right knee as we rotate to the left, reach left arm to sky, gaze follows. Unwind as you bring the left hand down, swap it out. Left hand becomes that support, right knee has straightened, left knee generously bends as we rotate to the right. Right arm reaches to the sky. Feel that rotation through the ribs as the eyes follow the hand. Exhale as you release, right hand back, forward fold. We'll plant the hands, step the feet back, find high plank. You can lower to the knees here if you like. With control, elbows tight to the body, we'll move down to the mat, uncurl the toes, inhale up, your cobra. That could be a baby cobra, could be a full up dog, could be somewhere in the middle like me today. The gaze is forward, spine is long. Gently release. Turn the chin to the mat, take a breath. Make any little adjustments you need to. Maybe you didn't feel like the hands were totally under the shoulders. Maybe you want to move them back closer near the chest instead. Maybe you just want them down on the mat for that baby cobra, elbows more tucked in, lots of options. When you're ready, on an inhale, lift back up. Again, whatever variation serves you today in this moment. Find a little ease in the feet. Long spine. Lower down. Favorite cheek goes into the mat as you let the arms be loose. Swap sides, opposite cheek connects down. And then we'll bring the chin back to the mat. Take the arms down alongside body. Pinkies touching thighs, creating a nice base for the chin, the hands, and the pelvis as we inhale up the right foot. It may be an inch, it may be a foot. Wherever you're at today, that's okay. Feel the strength as you fly that foot, and then the control as you lower it down. Right foot connects to the mat, and we'll inhale up the left. Controlled as we lower. Left toes touch. We'll relax the low body. Bring hands under shoulders. Press back. Hips to heels. Child's pose once more. Settle in. Let the hips reach toward the heels. One more breath here. Start to walk the hands toward the knees as you lift up. Rotate around and find whatever seated posture feels good for you this morning. Somewhere the sit bones can connect down. Find a little ease through the body. Hands can rest in your lap at your side on the knees. Small tuck of the chin so the crown of the head reaches tall. We'll let right ear fall toward right shoulder. And then come back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Notice as you let the head fall if the shoulders tense up. They do use that exhale to let them gently relax down again. Back to center, chin to chest. We'll draw a line with the nose all the way up to the sky. A lift of the heart. Back to center. Look left and then right. Once more. Right once more. And back to center. If you have extra time today, you could take any final movements that feel good for you or take a Shavasana to soak in the practice. If you're finishing with me today, we'll bring hands together at heart center. Maybe you tap those thumbs to heart space to remember that intention that you set for class. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and those kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this week. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you have a great week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat next Tuesday morning. Bye, y'all.